I'm Jeremy Lieboff from Sobell Rhodes, and thank you for joining me for another of our series of essential guides from the Sobell Rhodes playbook. This video relates to the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme and is brought to you with the aim of helping our clients and our contacts safely navigate the coronavirus crisis. Before I start, there's a couple of things you need to know. To make this video as short and as snappy as possible, I'm going to cover a lot of ground in as short time as I can do it. There will be headlines only with the intention of allowing you some serious food for thought and point you in the right direction of the next steps that you may need to follow. We're going to be running some online discussions on a number of different topics over the coming weeks, and these will be a perfect opportunity to explore those specifics. But trust me, you don't want me doing it here. You will fall asleep before we even get to the midway mark if we start to really dig down on this kind of stuff. Finally, a bit of a health warning. This was recorded on the 7th of April 2020 and is correct to the best of our knowledge and based upon available information as at today's date. It's quite likely that this video will cover some of the what, which is available to you, but the detail of the how is something that we may need to look into in more detail on a case-by-case basis, so do not hesitate to get into contact with us. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. The Self-Employed Income Support Scheme is brought to you by Her Majesty's Government. Under this scheme, the eligible self-employed individuals and indeed members of a partnership can make a claim for a grant worth up to 80% of their trading profits. This is a temporary scheme, much like some of the other processes that have been put in place, and it's in place for a period of 3 months. It may be extended if needed. We hope it won't be needed, and that we're going to come out of this all absolutely lovely, but you never know. It might be possible that they're going to have to extend it. If so, they will. So the criteria, the eligibility criteria, first of all, the who. Self-employed individuals, i.e. sole traders, or members of a partnership. Those people must have submitted a 2018-19 tax return. If you haven't done that yet, you've got until the 23rd of April to do that. I'm going to touch upon the detail of that in a little bit, so don't run away. You need to have been trading in the 1920 tax year as well, so that's the one that just ended a couple of days ago, as at the recording of this video, and be trading when applying, or would have been trading if it were not for the coronavirus. And of course, you need to be looking at the fact that you're continuing to trade into the 2021 tax year, which has just started, and you would have probably been in a situation whereby you have lost income, lost profits in your sole trade or partnership because of the coronavirus. So these are the criteria in terms of the who. There are some financial criteria as well that you need to take into consideration. Self-employed or partnership profits must be less than £50,000. So that's quite important. Less than £50,000 and must represent at least or more than 50% of your income. So it represents more than 50% of your total income on your tax return. Now, there are different ways of measuring this. The first of these can be that it was true in 2018-19. Those two criteria, less than 50,000, greater than 50%, were true in 18-19. But you could also measure on an average of 16-17, 17-18, 18-19 combined, or if you were trading for a shorter period because you had started trading after 16-17, for example, then you would look at those shorter periods, those trading periods, and look at an average across that as well. So there are different ways in which you can be measuring this less than 50,000, greater than 50% measurement. So what you're going to be wondering is, okay, if I qualify, how much is it that I'm going to get? So the answer is 80% of the average profits for the applicable tax years, 16-17, 17-18, 18-19. So first thing is, do I qualify based on the criteria of the other two slides? If so, then this is how they're going to calculate it out. Simple averages here, adding them together, dividing by the number of years. So obviously if it's 3 years, then divide by 3. If it's only 1 or 2 years, it's going to be divided by less, and essentially whatever is applicable. The grant is capped at £2,500 per month for 3 months. So that's the highest it's going to go, no matter what your trading profits were in those given years. Paid directly into your bank account in one installment. So that's an important thing to know. So if you qualify and all of that stuff is ringing true for you, this is what you need to know, because this is the important bit. You can't apply yet. HMRC are going to be using data from the 18-19 tax returns to assess who they believe is eligible to apply for this grant. There will be a risk assessment that will be put onto any 18-19 tax returns that are filed late and up to the 23rd of April 2020. So, that's where they're going to look at those ones a little bit closer. That's basically the truth of this. They're going to say, okay, these people were late, and obviously this whole crisis has unfolded. We need to look at these on a risk assessment basis just to see whether or not we need to ask some questions and dig into that in a bit more detail. Once HMRC have completed their assessment, they will contact those people who they believe is eligible and invite them to apply. HMRC have stated categorically you shouldn't be contacting them at this time. They're going to be contacting you. And just so that you know, it's only something that can be done through the .gov.uk portal. You should be aware of scammers. There's definitely going to be people out there. I can tell you now, you're not going to be asked to do anything over the phone. You're not going to be asked to enter your details into some random website. You're not going to get spam and all that kind of stuff. You need to be very, very, very careful as to where it is you enter this information. It's only through the .gov.uk portal. That's the guidance we've been given at the moment. So with all of that in mind, I know that that's kind of like broad brushstrokes. You may well have a number of different questions. We're going to be running some live Q&A sessions online, and you're welcome to join us. We're going to be doing some invitations that are going to be coming out soon, so look out for those. Essentially, we're going to have a panel answering questions, looking at some real life scenarios in a group setting, so we can actually cover off some of those things that are more specific and going to be more relevant to individual circumstances. And hopefully it should be a very interesting and eventful way of looking at this. So if you have any questions, please feel free to join us for those once you see them in your inbox. In the meanwhile, thank you very much for joining me today. If you need to contact us, as always, please call 0208 429 8800 or contact us through our website. And above anything else at this time, please stay safe. Thank you very much.